Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Stollings. You know me here on YouTube as MarauderX, and as always, I'm your host for Operation Recap, where I take some of the stories from Rainfall.com, and I share them here on YouTube because I love YouTube. It's an interesting place of fun and happiness and rainbows and unicorns and whatnot. Anyway, I got a bunch of stories this week, so let's just jump right into the stories, shall we? First off, biggest news of the week. If true, it's still a rumor. But let's see what... I'm really curious to see where it goes. So, apparently, a Sony SNES PlayStation has been found. This is mind-blowing, if true. If not, it is very, very well orchestrated hoax. So, we all know the history that Sony and Nintendo they were partnering up back in the day to make a CD-based attachment version Super Nintendo. There were a lot of different design specs. The most common was accepted as an add-on, like the 32X or the Sega CD for the Genesis, for the Super Nintendo to add CD-based capabilities to the SNES, and that never came to be because Nintendo and Sony could not see eye to eye on it. Nintendo broke off. Sony didn't want to lose the amount of R&D they put into it, and then they made the PlayStation. So, like, history lesson over. We know what happened, but we also know that dozens of specs had probably been drawn up, probably hundreds of different variations. We never really assumed that they made it to a physical prototype stage. Like, we just never came about. No one ever thought that, because no one had ever seen one. Well, someone found one, and this is a hybrid console of both in one as opposed to an add-on, which is immediately causing people to question the credibility, but I'm still skeptical that it's entirely possible that this is a prototype. I mean, dozens and dozens of prototypes have been leaking out into circulation these days. Sega just had the prototypes of the Neptune get released, so it's entirely possible that these are legitimate prototypes that just never saw the light of day until just now, or people didn't realize exactly what it was because they didn't know the history behind it, so they just figured it was just, something cheap and sitting in a basement somewhere. So, only time will tell. I don't know what's going to happen with this console, if someone's going to try to verify its legitimacy, and then, I hope if it is a legitimate prototype, this sort of thing belongs in a museum. To sound like Indiana Jones, it belongs in a museum. Is like, I will take my hat and I will get a whip and I will make sure this gets into a museum. That is gaming history right there, and it is, if true, an amazing piece of gaming history. Just that is the ultimate what if scenario, that something changed. And you get a glimpse into an alternate timeline of what could have been. Oh, it's interesting just thinking about. So like I said, I hope it is legitimate. If it is legitimate, I hope it is verified, that it can be verified that it is a legitimate prototype. And if so, I really hope it ends up in the hands of gaming historians somewhere for that. So as of now, it's still a rumor, but the optimist in me is going, please be true, this is awesome. But, the realistic cynic is like, it could just be someone 3D printed it, but, there's a lot of stuff to the device itself that just seems like, if you took the time to make this a hoax, like, just mazel tov to you. This is an elaborate hoax. But so, the second story for the week, Concept and Studio 4°C announced collaboration of Red Ash. This is the remake, re-envisioning. This is Keiji Inafune basically doing, pulling a Mighty No. 9 versus Mega Man, but a Mega Man Legends. This is going to be his take on Mega Man Legends with not... I don't know why he's not using Mighty No. 9. I guess that would be too similar for it, and therefore get him into trouble. So he's just doing a completely different world for this. But, yeah, Red Ash is going to be Mega Man Legends 3, basically. The one that was cancelled. they're working on this project. It's got some people upset that, you know, they're already announcing another project before Mighty Number 9 is out, and it's putting a little bit of bad taste in people's mouths of, why isn't this game out yet that you raised so much money for, that the last trailers kind of made people feel that it's not worth what was coming out. Again, you can't judge a game by a trailer or by a cover or, you know, but I mean, first impression is kind of a big thing. But I don't know how to feel about this personally. Let me know how you guys feel about this. Is it you know, are they jumping the gun with this, or is this, you know, just the way things should go now? I mean, they crowdfunded the first game. Obviously, they have, you know, enough backing for maybe potential outside investors that they don't need to crowdfund this game, or they might crowdfund parts of this. Who knows? But is it too soon to jump into another game before your first game? I mean, this isn't the first time that sort of thing's happened. But I mean, it is becoming a thing for smaller indie developers. So, and two Nintendo rumors, more Nintendo rumors. The first one, the rumor is the NX may actually be launching in 2016. We get that rumor because Foxconn, a major producer of electronic goods in China, they've leaked somehow that production has started on this, and that it should be ready by about that time to ship for sales purposes. So it's just a rumor. We don't have anything confirmed from Foxconn, and you know, Foxconn is one of those places that's like, it's big enough to where it's like, we should probably trust it, but it's also big enough that someone claiming to be from there without any sort of follow-up, it's like saying, I work for Apple, and you can trust that, because I'm on the internet. That's how I see it. So it is a rumor that the NX will be available that soon, which, if it is available that soon, raises some questions, but Nintendo claims to answer them. And one of them is, Nintendo says that they will not abandon the Wii U and 3DS at the NX launch. Now, we know very little about the NX. The wording describing it as a new platform. So it could be anything. It could be a new handheld. It could be a new console. So the reason why they're lumping both in is to not state specifically what it is. Some people believe it is a hybrid. It is some sort of tablet that can work on the go. And, you know, play games on your TV through some sort of docking station as well. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know. I don't know what the console is. If it's console, I don't know what the platform is. Let's say platform. But Nintendo is committed to saying that they are not going to discontinue support for previous platforms as soon as this comes out. Now, Nintendo has a really bad track record with this. They really do. So they said they wouldn't discontinue the Game Boy Advance when the 3D or when the DS came out. That was a lie. They said they wouldn't discontinue Game Boy games when Game Boy Color came out. That was a... They have a habit of discontinuing the previous console in favor of the new console. That's one of the things people were scared about with the Wii to the Wii U, and the reason why they were so hesitant to bring over games that, you know, we were encouraging them to bring over, like Xenoblade, that because the new console was coming out, they had already shifted focus to the new console and didn't want to focus on a console that was not going to be supported. That really is Nintendo's MO. So the fact that they are going out of their way to continue to say this, it either drives home the point of it is something different that means that these different platforms can coexist in the same ecosystem, or it is PR rhetoric to try to keep sales of their current console and handheld afloat until this new device comes out, as to not pull a Sega and say that this is dead and we're focusing on something that's coming out, you know, sometime in the future, killing all future sales. So, it's all rumors at this point. It's all rumors. So I don't know what to suggest as far as what to believe or what to look for, but it is what it is. So, But yeah, those are the 4 stories for this week. Let me know your thoughts on these rumors. Do you think the Super Nintendo PlayStation is possibly a prototype, or is it just an elaborate hoax? How do you feel about Concept announcing a game right off the bat before their major Kickstarter project has been released? And what do you feel about the NX? Do you want it to be a console? Do you want it to be a handheld? Do you want it to be the weird hybrid? And would you prefer Nintendo to stick with their MO of dropping support in favor of putting 100% of the resources into a new system, or splitting between new and old? Or if it's something that can exist outside, how do you want to see this function? Let me know your thoughts. I want to know, because all of these rumors are, like I said, really interesting rumors, and they're just that. They're rumors. So, but I'm going to go, and I'm going to enjoy my 4th. I suggest all of my viewers who are American do the same. Do not do anything silly and, blow something up that, you might regret blowing up. Please, I hope that all of you are in one piece and not injured tomorrow. It's a day of enjoyment, but be careful. Explosives are bad and dangerous. Just enjoy them in moderation and safety. And I will see you guys next week with another recap. Till then, later everyone.